The Historical Sketch and Roster series by John Rigdon is a little-known gem in the world of Civil War research. These books are gold mines of primary sources where the stories from the Civil War come straight from the horse's mouth. There's a Historical Sketch and Roster book for almost every Civil War regiment, North and South. This awkwardly titled book covers the 4th Texas Cavalry Regiment of the Arizona Brigade, a.k.a. the 4th Texas-Arizona, and its most famous officer, Daniel Showalter. The reference book is titled after Baird's regiment because Spruce Baird was the first commander, while Showalter was the last regimental commander. The actual historical sketch in this historical sketch is just a one-page summary of the regiment's activities. I have to disagree with Rigdon's take that Showalter was sent west by the Confederate Army to recruit in California. There's nothing in the documents that supports that. We know, thanks to primary sources, that his party were willing recruits for the Confederacy, but Showalter was already in California when the war began. He was in the state assembly. We also know, thanks to Gene Armistead's biography of Showalter, that he wouldn't make it to Confederate territory to physically receive an Army commission until 1862, after the Sibley Brigade had retreated from Confederate Arizona. This hiccup is forgivable because of the good stuff that comes right after the historical sketch. This book contains a good 45 pages or so of killer primary sources. 32 pages deal exclusively with the capture of Dan Showalter and the 16 other men traveling east with him to join the rebel army. This includes the text of the individual affidavits taken by the Federal Army from each of these men. There are also letters and orders between federal officers referring to Showalter's time in prison at Fort Yuma on the California-Arizona border. Being a Southern California native, it's a treat for me to read about so much wartime activity going on between Los Angeles, Temecula, and San Diego. Then there are a few pages summarizing the formation of Spruce Baird's cavalry regiment, informally known as Showalter's regiment because he ended up in command, although we know this unit as the 4th Texas-Arizona. The rest of the primary source documents and commentary deal with the 4th Regiment's general operations around Texas and their participation in the Battle of Las Rusias in 1864 in support of Cristobal Benavidez' troops. All of the correspondences and documents in this book come directly from the War of the Rebellion series, which is the collection of official records of the Union and Confederate armies in the Civil War, published by the Government Printing Office. These records include department-level military orders, battle reports and frontline dispatches, correspondences between military officers about specific events, correspondences between officers and NCOs, and so on. Anyone can go read them right now at the Library of Congress website, at the Internet Archive, or Google Books, but good luck knowing where to start. The official records span 128 volumes and add up to over 100,000 pages. The series was also published in different waves between 1880 and the early 1900s, and information about Confederate Arizona and the New Mexico campaign is spread out over multiple volumes published in different years. There's no way I have time to dig through 100,000 pages of documents, so the fact that Rigdon did this is a blessing for folks like me trying to make niche documentaries. After all the primary sources on Showalter and the 4th Texas-Arizona Cavalry, there's a roster of all known officers, NCOs, and enlisted men in the 10 companies of the regiment. The regimental roster is followed by an alphabetical index of the soldiers' names and companies. Among the more than 800 names in the regiment, I found 16 Hispanic surnames, over 50 German or Dutch surnames, and at least 30 Irish surnames. Only time will tell what information further research can dig up about these soldiers who were Tejano or Mexican-born or European immigrants. Also, before some of y'all get excited, none of this ethnic seasoning changes that 7 states seceded because the No New Slave States guy won the presidential election, and they wrote it down. Those primary sources are in a different book. There are a few other items in this book, including a little bit of information copied and pasted from Wikipedia. I think the author-editor can do better than pasting Wikipedia text in a book people are paying for, but whatever. Having all the primary source documents and the regimental roster in one place is what I really care about, and Rigdon delivers on that. I also think it's a nice touch how at the end of each of these books, he adds a directory of different Southern states' archives departments, including web addresses so people can start digging right away. If you're looking for a narrative history of this unit or any other unit in the American Civil War, the Historical Sketch and Roster series is not for you. But if you're hunting for information about a specific unit and the people in it, then these books are definitely what you're looking for. The ones that interested me were the ones on the regiments of the Arizona Brigade, and this one has been an amazing resource for my research. The print editions are a little pricey for my taste, considering most of these books are around 100 pages, but the ebook I got was a fair price at $10. This particular book was not available on Kindle, although a couple of hundred other ones in the series are. I had to buy this one directly from researchonline.net, and I paid with PayPal. What caught me off guard is that the payment confirmation page did not immediately put an ebook file on my computer. Since I bought the book straight from a mom and pop outfit, I got an email the next morning with a link to the PDF file that I downloaded. That means if you like instant gratification like I do, then you better order your Historical Sketch and Roster ebook during business hours on Eastern Time. Thank you for watching The Civil War, Wild West Edition. Keep your eyes peeled for the Confederate Territory of Arizona, Part 3, coming very soon on this channel.